This lesson will focus on positive and negative integers. Question is, what can we do with numbers? We can multiply, we can divide, we can add, or we can subtract. I'm going to do two operations first. One, add and subtract. But I'm going to take two types of numbers, positive and negative. Let me connect them first to what you go or do every single day with money. If I take $4, so your mom gave you $4. Then your dad gives you $6. And then I'll ask, how much total do you get? I'm sure people will say, hey, you got $10 there, didn't you? Which is fine. However, if you owe somebody $4 here, and you owe $6 to someone else, I put 6 here, you still owe $10 to those individuals. Okay, I put 10 here. What is the difference in these two additions? And that is the bottom line. First, you owe positive. The positive number, as you all know, is understood. Positive, money came to you, 6. Total money is 10. And we say, let me write with a different ink. It becomes positive. However, when you owe someone, we don't say it's positive number coming to you. It is indicated with a negative sign. So $4 you owe. You owe $6, I put a negative number here. Negative sign. And then you owe total is $10. So how do I indicate that this is $10 that you owe? I put a negative sign. And therefore, you'll be discussing, or we will come across numbers which have positive signs, numbers which have negative signs. And I'm basically going to do one operation here. Math professor will call it one operation only, and that operation is add numbers. Now, how do we add numbers? Let me take one other example. I'm going to take two numbers, which will be maybe consistent with my chalk here. I take 13. I take number 7. I add them up, and we get 20. I can take the same two numbers. However, I'll change this number to negative 13. I'll change this, keep the positive sign here as is, change this number to negative 7. The question will be, what will be the answer? Now, this is a killer. Everybody needs to know that this addition here is not easy. Students make mistakes on this constantly, so let's be certain we know what we're doing here. If you follow a rule of adding these numbers, what I'm going to state, you will never ever make a mistake. And the rule is this. If you see two numbers, which is 13 and 7, they both have the same sign. The sign is understood here. You simply add the numbers. The answer is 20. Put the sign of either of the numbers. This has a positive sign here. So let's take this positive sign here and transfer the sign here. However, when numbers are negative, negative here, negative here, you still do the same thing. You add 13 and 7. And the answer is 20. Because both signs are the same, you take the sign of either 13, which is negative here, sign of this sign, which is negative here, and you put a sign of negative 20. So let me repeat, or let me summarize this rule here. When you're adding two numbers with the same sign, two positive, two negative, you add the two numbers, which is 7 plus 13, which makes it 28. Put the sign of either of the numbers, which is here or there, positive. Same rule applies here to negative integers in this case. 7, 13, you add them up, the answer is 20. Take the sign of either of the two numbers, either from here or from there, stick the sign here, which makes it negative 20. And now I'm about to do something different. I'm going to add numbers with opposite signs. the opposite signs. And those numbers could be like this, 13. Let me erase this thing for a second here. I'll do 13, 7 equals, but I'm going to put this number with different signs, put a negative sign here. The second will be negative 13 plus 7 equals 2. Now, what are the rules? You know the answers. You know the answers. Let us deal with the rules. In this case, when two numbers, like in this case 13 and 7, are with two different signs, this is negative, this is positive, the rule is you subtract the lower number, which is 7, from the higher number, which is 13, and the answer is 6. And what sign will you put there? You take the sign of the larger number, which is here, which is a positive sign. Take this sign, bring it here. And the answer is positive 16, positive 6. Now, what do we do here? Same principle one more time. You subtract the lower number, which is 7, from the higher number, which is 13. The answer is still 6. Now, what sign will it have here? You look at the two numbers, then identify which number is larger, which is 13. It has a negative sign, so you take this sign kind of, and you say, I'm going to put it here. So the answer is negative 6. It is very important for every student to understand there are two rules when you're dealing with positive and negative integers. And let me explain what the rules are. Rule number 1, when adding two numbers like this with the same signs, positive, positive here, you add the two numbers, put the sign of either of the two numbers. So 13 plus 7 is 20. Positive sign goes here. Part of the same rule is when you are adding two numbers, again, two negative signs, add the two numbers, put the sign of either of the two numbers, which is here, negative. That is rule number 1. Rule number 2, you're adding numbers with opposite signs. One number is positive, other one is negative, which is the case here. 13 is positive, 7 is negative. In this case, take the lower number, which is 7, subtract the lower number from the higher number, which is 13. The difference is 6. Take the sign of the larger number, which was 13, and place in front of the answer, which is positive. Part of rule number 2 still is this number could be negative, this is positive. So take the lower number, subtract from the higher number. The answer is 6. Take the sign or place the sign of the bigger number, which is negative, and place the sign in front of the answer here. And that is rule number 2. Are you guys ready? I'm going to test you now on the rules which we just talked about. And I'm going to provide 3 of those problems. Problem number 1, 11 plus 9 equals, you fill in the answer here, provide an answer for me. Second problem, minus 11 plus 9, give me the answer here. Be careful, negative 11, negative 9 equals, put an answer here, question mark. The answer for 11 plus 9 is 20. Question will be, how did we get 20? Follow the rule, rule number 1, which says these numbers are with the same signs. 9, 11, add the two numbers, which makes it 20. Put the sign of either of the numbers. With both numbers the same sign, and that answer is positive. This here, this is rule number 2. Rule number 2 says these numbers are with two opposite signs. You take the lower number, which is 9, subtract from the higher number, which is 11. The answer is 2. The higher number, has a sign which is negative, so you insert the negative sign here. Question number 3, be very, very careful, because this is where students make mistakes. Let's apply rule number 1 again. Here and here. These two numbers have the same sign, negative, negative. So the rule says add the two numbers, negative 9 plus 11, and that makes it 20. And what sign will this answer have? The answer of the sign of either of the two numbers. And that sign is negative here, so insert the negative sign, and the answer for this problem, negative 11, negative 9, is negative 20. Don't forget to place the negative sign here.